Hello, I'm your host, Tamara Gaines, CMM, and I want to thank you for joining our special featured interview. Today, I'm joined by David Whitaker, who is President and CEO of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. David, I know that Miami recently broke ground on the Grand Hyatt Miami Beach Convention Center. Can you tell us about this project and what it means for the destination's meeting and convention strategy?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for giving us this opportunity. We love being partners with MPI. I've got a big place in my heart for all the meeting planners that we work with, and thank you for helping us tell our story. You know, the word game changer has probably been overused for a long time, but there's not a better word for what this means for us in terms of this new anchor headquarter host hotel. It literally is a game changer for this destination and how we feature and how we pitch the destination to meeting planners. Most major cities, as you know, and as your audience knows, most major cities do have an anchor hotel, a hotel connected to the convention center, if not several. And that just brings so much more convenience to the planner, ease of operation, one-stop shopping, et cetera. So to have now an 800-room property and the caliber of Hyatt, by the way, Grand Hyatt, connected to the convention center, which also just went through a $640 million renovation, it's a game changer for us. We've literally tripled the number of inquiries, RFPs, leads in the last several months since word it was announced that the groundbreaking would begin, which it has last month. And by December of 2027, we'll be ready to welcome the world.
That's awesome. Well, I know from an industry perspective of, many years ago, we were struggling with having a lot of new limited service hotels, but not a lot of new large scale hotels that could handle the volume that this particular property can. So how will the new hotel enhance the overall experience for groups utilizing the adjacent Miami Beach Convention Center?
Well, I've already mentioned a couple of the keys, right? Convenience, one-stop shopping, getting everyone under one roof. We know that much of the networking, the social time, some of the sponsor opportunities, exhibitor opportunities, that happens at the bar the night of the convention, right? It happens over a drink, over breakfast. So to have everyone gathered together in and around and before and after the convention adds a whole new experience and an opportunity for both delegates, exhibitors, sponsors. The board can be together for their leadership opportunities as well. So that convenience, you can't understate it enough. Also, Miami Beach has always been known for its incredible boutique hotels. And while we still have that, this now gives us a chance to assemble several rather large room blocks in the adjacent Lowe's and the Royal Palm and the Fontainebleau. So now we have just another major block and another major player to add choice, convenience, and opportunity for the planner.
That's wonderful. So, but can you walk us through some of the key features and maybe the amenities of the hotel that planners can expect once it opens?
Well, probably the hardest to sell, and I'm being tongue in cheek, the hardest to sell is that it's 300 yards from the Atlantic Ocean, right? and that's an amenity that not a lot of destinations can offer. So we really do understand the value and the beauty of being in paradise and having a major meeting be on the shores of the most beautiful ocean in the world, in our opinion. So, but beyond that, it also just the campus itself, the word convention campus is very a common vernacular. And so the hotel will have a great lawn on the rooftop of the garage will be a massive lawn for indoor, outdoor events. It has its own ballroom space, so it adds another, 50, 60,000 square foot option to the convention center, which has multiple ballrooms. So it just expands the choices for our planners and also gives them an incredible product to host.
Great. And from, both the planner perspective and the attendee perspective, view matters. So being able to, look out from a meeting room or as you're walking from hotel to convention center and having just, like you said, 300 yards away, the beach and just everything that brings to the environment. What a lovely perk.
Well, we're going to steal, you're a marketing genius. We're going to steal that line. View matters. That's going to be part of the ad.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, let's kind of go a little bit beyond the hotel. What are some other initiatives or maybe investments that are helping to position Greater Miami as a leader, and continued leader really, in the meetings and events industry as you continue to evolve?
Well, competition is always great for the customer at the end of the day, right? And so you mentioned investments. Because of the new hotel, almost every one of our other major properties has gone through some kind of multi-million-dollar renovation, either currently or previously. In fact, two of our hotels shut down and totally renovated. And so that competition is good at the end of the day. And so the hotels have to keep up with one another. They have to continue to offer the high quality product. And so the investment made by the Hyatt has triggered an awful lot of other investments as the destination continues to stay competitive.
And what other developments are kind of on the horizon for your area starting next year and beyond that meeting professionals might be really excited about?
Well, one of the major developments is kind of a more of an experience and a trend. Uh, who would have thought a Sleepy Beach resort of the 70s and 80s would be today one of the top restaurant cities in the United States? Who would have thought we would have had 17 Michelin starred restaurants for the consumer and the meeting planner and the delegate to choose from? Bon Appetit magazine last year named Miami the food city of the year. So those investments in our restaurant scene really started to pay off for us. It gives the delegate and the planner and the sponsor who wants to do an outing or a dinner, gives them that experience that we know consumers, and in this case, convention delegates are so hungry for. Dare I pun?
I love the pun. And if view matters, we know that food matters as well, because whether it is during the day when you're actually in the meetings, or whether it's that nightlife and that opportunity for networking, to be able to have things that are walkable and to have so many choices really makes, in enhancing you as a destination. So that's wonderful. What do you think planners would be most surprised to learn about Miami as a meeting destination?
Well, I think one of the things that it really depends on, and to your question, it really depends on whether this is your first experience or a repeat experience. So for a repeat experience, I think what planners will be somewhat surprised and pleased about is I mentioned before, a $640 million expansion and renovation of our convention center. And so now we have one of the most competitive products in the country, adding new ballroom of space, adding new breakout space, and just the look and feel of the venue. So that is going to be a welcome surprise for those who are returning. And for the new planner, it just gives them the confidence that they're in one of the highest quality buildings in the country, LEED certified as well, LEED certified as well. So, because again, sustainability is a big part of the meeting planner responsibility. And so having one of the most sustainable convention centers is part of what planners are looking for. For the surprised new first-time visitor, I think they're just going to be surprised with the sophistication of the destination. Miami Beach has always been a beach town, but to know that it not only has those restaurants that I mentioned, but performing arts centers, one of the best symphonies in the country, one of the best ballets in the country. Also, these are also event venues for offsite activities. The architecture of Miami Beach is stunning, and the diversity of our people. Again, diversity matters in this country, as we know. And so to have a city that welcomes everyone and a city that gives everyone that diverse experience, being an international city. South America, gateway to South America is important because that's a new source of sponsorship and attendance. Many of our major events have seen record attendance as a result of picking up additional delegates from Central and South America. And so all that goes into the bucket, if you will, of giving that planner that surprise that they're looking for to surprise and delight their convention delegates.
I love the term surprise and delight. Now, you mentioned just a little bit ago about LEED certified. And so I'm curious, what role does sustainability play in the meetings and convention planning in your area, especially related to the new hotel, the Grand Hyatt?
Well, what we know is almost, if it's not the first question, it's the first or second question by a planner is tell us about your sustainability initiatives. We have our hotels participating in a Green Key program. This is a nationwide platform where the hotels have to achieve certain standards to get that seal of approval to be called a Green Key hotel. And we currently have over 100 hotels in the program because we know that the planner and more importantly, the delegate, sustainability matters. And so having a major commitment to sustainability, our composting with the food from the center, farm to table. Again, Miami being here in South Florida, we're part of an agricultural community just south of us. And so all those things add up to giving the planner the chance to show their convention delegate and their attendee and their sponsor that they're equally committed to sustainability.
That's fantastic. So I would imagine this is opening some opportunity for your team to be working even more so with local partners and stakeholders. But maybe what are some of the things that you have going on in that arena of working with others to create a better or different visitor experience for attendees?
The Miami destination, the Miami brand, one of the most popular brands now in the country in terms of, we're one of the top destinations in terms of year-round occupancy. Our visitor volumes continue to set records. Convention planners want to bring their delegates when they announce a city, when they bring people to a city, they want people excited about being in that city. And so the authenticity is really fundamental. And so we just want to be our best. So the convention center, the convention experience, the convention planner, they can be at their best. And then at the end of the day, the delegate has the best experience possible.
That's great. So, you've got a voice directly to the planners now. What message would you like to share with them? Maybe someone who hasn't considered Miami for a major event in the past. What should they know?
Well, again, to all the planners, thank you, because the role you play is so important. MPI's leadership in this area is so critical because it gives us that platform to serve the constituents that we all are looking to serve, which at the end of the day is the convention delegate, the attendee, the exhibitor, the hardworking men and women of our industry. So A, thank you. B, let us help you. Again, one of the key roles a convention and visitor bureau play is being that resource for a planner. We take that commitment very seriously. We want to make sure that every aspect of your meeting is attended to. And like I said, being 300 yards from the ocean and one of the most popular destinations in the country, with a new 800-room hotel connected to a $640 million renovated building, it's time to take a look at Miami and Miami Beach, and we welcome you here. And I'd love to give you a personal tour.
I love that. Great invitation. And, so definitely a lot to be excited about from the planner perspective. What excites you the most about the future of meetings and conventions in Miami? Maybe, let's narrow it down over the next couple of years.
Well, I think one of the things that I'm most excited about as a professional in this industry is the mission-driven nature. The old days, as you know, of kind of trade shows and just gathering for the sake of gathering. Today, everyone is very mission-driven. And so that's kind of a trend that I've seen over the years, and MPI has been a leader in that space as well. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to go to all that effort to convene, we need to be accomplishing some of the core missions of the organization, the constituents. And so as you weave that content through the planning, as you weave that experience through, as you hold and work together hand in hand with the planner to make sure their mission and their client's mission is achieved, that mission-driven nature of the work we do is just become so important and is a major part of the relationship.
You're absolutely correct on that. I love the focus on being mission driven and that collaboration between partner and planner as well. So as we wrap up here, how can MPI members and meeting professionals stay connected with your team or learn more about hosting events in Miami?
Well, obviously, we're very proud of our website. A shameless plug for the website, right? Miami and MiamiBeach.com. There's a whole dedicated section on our website for meeting planners. Carol Motley, our senior vice president. When I mention those words, almost everyone on this Zoom call knows who Carol Motley is. She's one of the top professionals. I'm so proud of her, our senior vice president. She's been a real blessing to have us as part of our team. Between she and I and our sales staff, we think we're ready to roll up our sleeves and get busy and welcome you and your colleagues to Miami and Miami Beach.
That's fantastic. David, thank you so much for your time today. I greatly appreciate all of the insights that you've shared, and I look forward to my visit to Miami soon too.
Well, A, I'm going to promise you the best sunrise you've ever seen, and then B, we're going to have an amazing meal in one of these Michelin restaurants.
I love it. I look forward to it.
You too.